I'd love to make others aware of the importance of living in the moment and taking one day at a time because time just flies absolutely.
My favorite memory over here was leading the top leadership sessions was no less than a challenge in itself first because they were the industry experts. Getting in touch with them, hearing them was no less than a biggest memory from me.
So it helped me to gain a perspective how this academic knowledge really transfers to the real world scenarios. Those academic learnings really embedded over the program here.
In most colleges, we have lectures straight out of books, and it's effective, of course, but then you don't really know how effective it is till you actually apply it in the outside world. I mean, the world is dynamically changing at a really fast pace, so it's really important to actually know what's going on and to know how to be able to deal with risk in all aspects of life.
The curriculum over here has been exceptionally well designed, and moreover that the industry leaders are teaching us directly who are there in the industry from past 10 to 15 years.
Good afternoon and welcome to this year's first episode of Life at GRMI. This is an opportunity for us to meet and talk to our students, get to hear a little bit about what brought them here, their experience while they were with us, and obviously a moment for them to reflect and sort of reminisce how their year was. So welcome all of you to the podcast. I'm going to start with you, Tanish. BSc background, everyone would assume you're not going to get into the field of risk. And better still, post that, if I remember correct, you are part of the media world. Whatever brought you to risk?
Media in itself is a huge risk to a lot of businesses. Businesses do get impact if they have adverse media, and that was my initial journey to how disruptions and media presence can affect businesses in general. The reason GRMI attracted to me a lot is because this program is background agnostic and students across diverse profile get into GRMI. My key learning, which I was expecting before coming to GRMI, would be a lot of skills which were transferable from my BSc education to a PGDR program here. I got first-hand exposure to how in this very dynamic and disruptive world as ours, risk, if something can be calculated and mitigated, can help businesses to continue. So that was something which I was attracted to, and I enrolled into GRMI.
Terrific. I remember most of you a year back, and now a lot's changed. So Kanika, what do you think's really changed in you as an individual, as a professional, as you step into the professional world? What's really changed in you?
Before joining GRMI, I was working as an associate manager with Uran. There, I got to know about a risk course at GRMI, and here I got a lot of exposure from being into a placement cell to leading and hosting an event. So one thing which I'll definitely take away from GRMI will be a confidence. What I was 1 year back and now, I see myself more confident, more resilient, and more aspirational now.
Absolutely love that, because that's really, really what we sort of love to see in our students, which is sort of that edge that they bring to themselves as they graduate from here. And certainly, we love to see our students aspire for better and better. I think coming to you as someone who I think had a reasonably academic sort of, at least look, if I may call it. I think your scores did not let you down either. What was your experience of this being an intense program? 800 hours, 18 technical papers, but I believe you all still had fun. So how did it all play out from an academics perspective without losing out the fun factor?
Starting off, I joined the course a little late, which was a little bit of an unfortunate incident. But again, it was the beginning. It was all about finding the balance and getting into that zone of being able to study, build on your attention span, your learning capacity and things like that. So the course is structured in a beautiful way in which we have core subjects along with slightly, if I may call them, filler subjects in the middle. So that makes it overall very manageable. And of course, like I tell everyone, all the newcomers and the new students of the new batches, that it's all about a matter of time before you pick on the speed of it and set yourself in the pace of GRMI and its curriculum.
So I want to do a real quick pivot and ask a question that I'd love to hear all of your views on. What's the one thing that you take away as your best memory from GRMI?
I would say I was fortunate enough to host the alum event where GRMI hosted. So GRMI, what makes is the institute is the lot of successful alum network in the Big Fours which GRMI has, and this event called the Delhi chapter, which was hosted under your leadership, and I get to host it with Aditya. That was other than the academics, which I really was attracted to as well, but that was one of my key memories here to get to host the alum event.
Leon.
So my favorite memory about for the time in GRMI would be the batch trip, as it was placed in a pivotal moment. Through the intense curriculum and intensity of the course, there was like this breather. That was the batch trip where we had loads of fun.
I think.
I don't think I have a particular memory. I guess the 10, 11 months that I particularly spent here, time just flew by, and I'd love to make others aware of the importance of living in the moment and taking one day at a time, because time just flies absolutely here.
Terrific. Kanika, what would you
So
say?
my favorite memory over here was leading the top leadership sessions was no less than a challenge in itself first, because they were the industry experts. Getting in touch with them, hearing them was no less than our biggest memory from me.
What did you really take away through the course of the year, uh, which you believe has helped you develop as a better human being, as a better professional, however? You want to go first?
Yeah. So earlier, while I was working with Udan into a food FMCG category, I used to see a task as a work, but now I see work from a risk lens. That what can go wrong? How can I correct that? So GRMI has taught me looking the task from a risk perspective is very important to have a diversity and transformation into the work and getting that successfully done.
I would like to quote someone which I think fits here perfectly. This is a quote by one of my favorite actors, Heath Ledger. He said that if you play about safe in everything in life, you don't grow as a person, and that's why we take risks. And the 1 year program really did help me shape holistically. It did bridge my gaps of knowledge regarding financial risk, third party risk, enterprise risk. But more than that, it helped me to pivot from a filmmaking media background to a corporate risk professional. And that transition, that metamorphosis was, I think that I'm always be grateful to GRMI for.
Terrific. Leon?
Apart from the curriculum that is very beautifully structured, I would say GRMI, would put a candidate in a position that they would, grow themselves holistically through its number of assignments, presentations. Other than that, I would say there are different events that happens at the institute, which is actually, hosted by the students. So that actually puts them in a position that they also have the skills to, manage an event and host things and grow themselves.
So coming to you, Aditya, what would you say?
I'd say my fellow batchmates have put it perfectly. Holistic is a great word for it. I mean, apart from the curriculum aside, things like, organizational skills, leadership skills, management skills, interpersonal skills, soft skills. So GRMI in itself as a journey teaches you all of these things over a short span of a year, along with the curriculum, of course. So I think overall this is really important for a person to grow and be confident, be disciplined, and be prepared for the corporate that lies ahead of us.
I'll really do a sort of bit of a deep dive on our curriculum itself. It's intense. It's a curriculum that you all walked in not knowing anything about. Right? Nobody in the class knew what can go wrong, what's business value chain, leave aside anything further. So just walk me through, how did you find that whole experience of being put into a curriculum that you knew nothing about? How was the faculty experience? Each one of them kind of take you along that journey. To be able to sort of come in from different backgrounds, BSc, BBA, BCom, MComs, all different backgrounds. How did that really happen purely academically?
The faculty and the teaching method really helped to adapt to the curriculum and the fast pace, deadlines, assignments, group presentations, team learning. This overall helped to keep up with the pace. Subjects like business value chain, process assurance, enterprise risk management were really interesting because the faculty made them with the real world example and the real world case studies and industries. So it helped me to gain a perspective how this academic knowledge really transfers to the real world scenarios. Those academic learnings really embedded over the program here.
Aditya, what about you?
Starting off, we have the bridge course, which really helps to set the tone right, I'd say. And post that, the mix of the core subjects along with the other subjects, the faculties ensure that it's completely different compared to, bookish learning. So nowadays, in most colleges, we have lectures straight out of books, and it's effective, of course, but then you don't really know how effective it is till you actually apply it in the outside world. So compared to that, over here we have faculties here actually impart knowledge out of their own life experiences. Most of them have been in different industries for a very long period of time. On top of that, we have leaders coming in from different domains for our leadership sessions, and they also share their real world experiences and their life experiences. I mean, the world is dynamically changing at a really fast pace. So it's really important to actually know what's going on and to know how to be able to deal with risks in all aspects of life. So that's how I feel about the faculty here.
The PGRM program at GRMI is structured in such a way which typically starts with the bridge, then we have the first semester and the second semester followed by the internship program. Bridge program papers which would typically introduce candidates who are not from the commerce or finance background to such subjects, and it acts as a foundation. Then we get into the first semester, which has papers like BBC, which is about the processes and sub-processes across industries and sectors, followed by process assurance, how do you do audits, what could go wrong, and such papers. And the semester 2 typically has papers that are more specialized in the risk domain, which would include ERM, third-party risk management, ICO for SOX, and then we have the internship, which actually allows us to leverage what we've learned in the past months in the real world.
Terrific. Kanika, your perspective.
So most of it has already been covered by my fellow batchmates, but I would say that the curriculum here is exceptionally well designed. So I'm an MBA also by profession. I've done MBA in marketing and business analytics, but the curriculum over here has been exceptionally well designed, and moreover that the industry leaders are teaching us directly who are there in the industry from past 10 to 15 years. So they are coming and teaching here in the GRMI what exactly recently going into the industry. Teaching over here directly from the business leader is exceptionally excellent opportunity.
Terrific. So right from the depth of what the curriculum is to what I guess we are passionate about at GRMI, which is the fun side of life. I think between many an evening which ended in the morning on the 5th floor to reset by plan B to the batch trip that you referred to, I think that's part of our DNA. We'll never give that up because that's something we've always held dear to ourselves, saying that's how you create that connect, that bond, and which is what sort of hopefully most of you will remember. So I just want each one of you to sort of reflect a little bit on how did that fun quotient really help you through the year? Do you remember something specific? And hopefully you will take this fun quotient into wherever you go to work, because if that becomes your DNA, hopefully you'll be future leaders who also imbibe that fun culture in every team that you go to. So I'd love to get your sort of views. That's our view as an institute. How have you also experienced it?
So, I had not interacted with 10 of my own batchmates until the first BYOB, and that was really necessary for ice breaking. And I realized that people experiences and their educational journeys and their work professional background, it's just a lot of learning, and it's fun to know your colleagues. I don't know, I think just my background just made me reluctant to not interact with a lot of people, but that learning, and these are the people now I'm really good friends with and hoping to be for a longer time now. I didn't realize, other than a lot of academic learning and skills, I was gonna have a lot of friends which I would want to be for later part of my life.
So Leon, let me come to you. You, as the CR in the class, very often disappeared pretty early from any event that we did to start with. And then I started to see you embrace the fun side a little bit more over time. Talk to me a little bit about how did that come about?
When I joined the program, I had this mentality that I would be focused on studies. Like probably 2-3 months into the curriculum, I realized that it was like really intensive, considering how the papers were scheduled through the classroom assignments, presentations. We definitely have fun at Jeremiah through the different events, cultural events and parties and freshers, farewells and different events that we organize, that is like definitely organized by the students. Through the numerous events and parties that we have, we get to know more about our batchmates and the faculties we interact with, and that helps us to gel better with each other.
Sure. Aditya, what's been your experience?
It's been a long journey, but I kind of wish it had been longer, I'd say, because I joined a little late. So my first official icebreaker was the Holi party, because I was a little skeptical in the beginning because people had already formed their groups of friends and, they were all about studies and this and that. So I was still trying to fit in, but over the time, the balance between studies, assignments, exams and parties it just hit the sweet spot, I'd say. And so GRMI overall preps you to actually keep that balance and take on something like a healthy pressure on yourself so that you keep thriving and at the same time you're actually having fun, be it your batchmates, be it your faculty, be it anyone and everyone present here. So yeah, it's a great experience overall, and GRMI as a family, we've had a lot of fun and I hope that remains that way.
So, a couple of you are already placed. Happy spot to be in. Congratulations. And some are close to. So, it's a matter of time. So, for those couple who are already placed, you've got your dream location as well. You've both got your dream organization. How does it feel like?
I would say that I'm happy and I'm relieved. The good thing is that all the hard work that we've put into for the last 12 months have really paid off.
How does it feel?
It felt a little unreal when I heard the news first. So my first instinct was to double check. Yeah, I'm really happy. It's been something that we've all been looking forward to throughout the duration of the course. And it also brings with it a moment where we'd soon leave this place, and that is something most of us are trying to settle into with. It feels great. My parents are really happy. So my first instinct was also to call up my parents and inform them, and they were also really glad. And so looking forward to this new chapter of my life.
Talk to me a little bit about what would you say to students who are evaluating this program at this stage of their career. Some could be working professionals, some could be freshers. You all went through that journey a year back. You had to take that tough decision of saying, is this right for you? And you've now seen what it's done to you. So if you had to just sort of coach, counsel a younger version of you, what would you have to tell them?
So if you genuinely want to create an impact in your career transformation, inclusion, diversity, I believe GRMI is a great place you can get into. From world-class blessed leaders, best curriculum, GRMI is the best place anyone can get into.
Talking about the GRMI PGRM program at GRMI, I would say that it is a super specialized program which focuses on risk management. So anyone who has an inclination, has attention for detail, has an analytical mind, and wants to pivot into risk management would definitely consider this.
So I want to make it a bit more specific, Aditya and Tanish, as you think about it, which is, what all did you evaluate? What would a typical student look at, right? So you've got MBA, you've got a CA track, you've got a CFA, and similarly, you all had those choices and options, right? So get a little specific around how did you sort of weigh all the pros and cons, because that's what they will need to do, right? So it'd be interesting for us to hear as to what was that evaluation process in your mind back then. So go back a year in time, and what was the evaluation process? And do you stand validated today? Or do you feel, maybe if I could wind back, there was something else?
I come from an experienced background, so it's really a big choice to drop your job and get back into education. And all you're thinking about is getting back into job again post that education. So it's a huge decision to take, and for a person who's as indecisive as I am, a super specialization really was the way to go about it, because it helps me make better life choices right since the time I've decided to be here. The fact is that GRMI, through its course that it offers and through the faculty and through the entire structure of this program, prepares you really well for a specialized industry like consulting. and a broader perspective like risk management. So that would be how I felt a year back when I was deciding whether to make these choices or not. And of course, I compared GRMI's course, the PGDRM course, to a traditional MBA. And then you weigh in things like, the time you're investing. Of course, the financial bit is also a part of it. Again, I genuinely feel that in a year's time, you are being polished by an institute and by the course that it has to offer and being put back into the corporate world out there. It's a great plus point.
Terrific. Danish?
So I was skeptical between choosing an MBA or a PGDRM program, a PGDM and a PGDRM. And I liked the niche of risk management what GRMI was offering. And if I go back a year back and just talk to a younger version of myself, I would say it's definitely worth it. I have acquired a lot of skills, and obviously, like he mentioned, considering 2 years to an MBA program, you get 1 year of more hands-on skills, more skills which are required by the employers in the current industries, in the current corporate world. Right now, we're still in the placement process, so I think it'll close in, it'll go full circle for me the day I get placed. And so far, it's been a lot of learnings, a lot of polish, a lot of improvements. I had appeared for CFA level 1 as well. I was thinking of going to that route too, but this is more hands-on, this is more practical, and this is what like gets you an upper edge. So I like the choice I made.
Okay, so now I'm going to do a rapid fire round. I want one word from each one of you to describe 3 facets of your year. 1, what was the 1 year experience like? Your experience with the batchmate and defining the program. Go for it, Aditya.
For experience, I'd say wholesome, batchmates supportive, program definitely insightful.
Leon.
For program, I would say phenomenal. For batchmates, diverse. And for experience, valuable.
Kanika.
For experience, I would say transformational. For the batchmates, I would say diverse. And for program, it was roller coaster.
Terrific. Tanish.
Experience, I'd say roller coaster, and program competitive, and batchmates experienced and intelligent.
Terrific. Thank you so much. Done with speed round. Now let's get back to the normal round. So a couple of you here come from that part of the country where I think 20 degrees is considered cold. Surprisingly, I didn't see you all in monkey caps. Maybe that was when you were not on campus. But how did you cope up with it? Not just the cold. How do you cope up with the change?
So coming from Calcutta, monkey cap was a straight up no. And so food habits changed, the temperature dipped drastically, and definitely the pollution, which never left my side. And I'm just glad that I'm going to get rid of it soon enough.
Terrific. Leon?
Thing that had changed for me would be living away from my family, especially my dogs, and the food habits.
And how did you cope up with it?
So,
Because you are a foodie from what I know.
so initially I moved into a PG, and later into the course, 3 or 4 of us moved into a flat where we sorted out the food bit because we had a maid, and like she would cook, non-veg and everything that we would love. The other parts, that is winter and the traffic, that's definitely there. That is something you just have to put up with.
Interesting. So coming to the two of you, Tanish and Kanika, you are closer to, you are Delhi, you are hills, not too far out. For you, I guess it was an experience of a diverse class, as I heard some of you use the word. So how was that experience?
So my experience was very valuable here. People here was from different city, different experiences, industry. So while working with them in the industry projects and the class presentation, it was very grateful to know their experiences, their perspective. So that was very transformative for me as well.
Sure. Tanish.
I'm just glad, sir, I made it through the program because we had people who had already worked at Big Fours, Genpact, Amazon, people who had already worked in big corporates. And here I am, someone who's worked in media, and I'm just glad I could keep up with them and I could finish the program. So it's been transformative. It's been a lot of learning. And
then did you pick up anything culturally from any other part of the country? Did you sort of learn some Bengali from them, some slangs if nothing else, I guess? Any taste for food, given Leon's, I've seen and heard him as a foodie right through.
I did when these guys moved into a flat and they would occasionally cook. So I really loved when Abhishek and Leon, Abhishek is one of the batchmates, they made those mutter pudis, and Leon's like, this is very normal and common in Kolkata. So I absolutely love those pudis.
Terrific, terrific. I guess some of you have connected with your alums maybe before joining, through the course of the program. Certainly, I'm sure you reached out to them closer to placement. So what was that interaction been like? Sort of, what's the GRMI family feel that you all possibly sort of got with the alums?
Initially, I was a little skeptical to reach out to them because I didn't know how they'd respond and whether they'd be willing to take time out. But they were really helpful, really sweet, very supportive. And I had various instances where I reached out to them. We had the alum event, the Delhi chapter. So that was a major platform to actually get to know most of our alums and have face-to-face interactions with them. And again, like you mentioned, during the placement season as well, we reached out to a lot of our alums who were again very helpful. They took time out of their busy schedules, spoke to us, guided us, comforted us, and I think it was an amazing experience.
Yeah.
So I connected to a few of the alumni on LinkedIn, and they were definitely helpful. They guided me through the overview of the program, the admission process, about the placements, and they definitely gave me information that actually helped me take a lot of decisions.
And any interactions at the time of placements, or you were confident enough saying, I'll crack it anyway?
I would say that I had definitely connected with few of the alumni to get to know about the organization and how is the work over there, the culture, the team, what they exactly do on a day-to-day basis. That definitely helped me to clear the interviews.
Wonderful to hear that, because we've always taken pride in the fact that our alums are our biggest asset. So to see that they continue to be an asset for all of our students while you come here through your program and as you get placed is terrific to hear, and hopefully you all sort of continue to take that legacy forward. How have you evolved in the networking skill? Because that's one of the things I believe you will take away with you. You will remain batch 16 of GRMI forever. No matter what you've done before this and no matter what you do after this, you will remain batch 16 of GRMI. We'll remember you that way, and hopefully you all will remember your own batchmates saying we are the batch or we were the batch of batch 16, right? So how's the networking thing really played out for all of you?
I think initially networking happened on campus only. So since we were batch 16, when we joined in January, batch 15 were already, and that's when my first network of 47 people happened right away. Now, since we just finished and now batch 17 is here, so I have another network of 25 people right away. So initially, over the 1 year, I had started networking with the batchmates from the alum event and reaching out to them on LinkedIn and other colleges. Very helpful. The program coordinator is very helpful to reaching out to alumni. And more than about the job openings, more than about the industry, they would really help and guide how a lot of classroom learnings, which they are rightly executing in their work, day-to-day work. We have a subject called PA2, Process Assurance 2. So that binder, that subject material is the key takeaway, which one of our alumni is working on his job right now. So that is priceless information which I got from a network only and from an alumni only.
Terrific. Kanika.
Yeah, so one value takeaway I'll definitely take away from GRMI will be network is a net worth. People coming here, taking a leadership session and the industry leaders teaching us with a international mindset, definitely that will going to be help us a lot in the future.
Thank you so much. Was wonderful hearing the perspectives from all of you, your experiences. Terrific to see how you all have lived the GRMI value system, and certainly look forward to you all taking that forward. So congratulations to those who are placed. All the best for the two of you who are just on the verge of it, and all the best to all of you as future risk professionals. And I'm certain, or at least I would say I hope, that you all continue the legacy of our brand ambassadors as our alums. Thank you so much, Tanish, Kanika, Leon, and Aditya. All the very, very best. Cheers.
Thank you.
Thank you
Thank
so
you so much.